Okay. Let's hit that button. Hit that button and see. We should be good. I'll just double check it on here, mate. Make sure, as always, that we're good. Which we should be. No warning come up, which is always of concern. He usually tells me when I'm live, and it's not showing that we're live. Shit. Oh yeah, here we go.
To me, that you started a live show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. Yep, lovely darts, mild concern there, but we're good to go. And just double check. I've got to keep my eye on the anybody else coming in as well, because we were due another couple. But in the interim, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday nights. Friday feeling. Engin, I know you look tired, son, but give us a Friday flex. Come on. What are you working with, son? Show me them arms. Boom! There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Enigma of Rage in the mother fluffing house. He's pretty tired, but you're hanging in there. You were over there, though, weren't you, mate? You just got back.
Yep, for 9 days. I went there even before the registration.
Wow, what was that? Because of the fact that you guys are pitching for it next year, yeah?
No, we didn't even know that there was an open spot for next year. We didn't even know. We almost even missed the Congress, and then when we went to Congress, we find out that there was an opportunity. We had no idea. We just went there the day before registration, and next day was registration. Next day was weigh-in, and then 6 days of competition, and then today we came.
Lovely darts, and I saw you. I saw that the Wolf suited and booted. Kurt Niazi.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love the Wolf. He's absolute class, isn't he?
Yes.
You cannot beat Kurt Niazi. For anybody in the chat who doesn't know Kurt Niazi, absolute legend of arm wrestling, mega puller, world champion, European champion, Turkish champion, maybe a god. We love him. He's also the president of the Turkish Arm Wrestling Federation, which is potentially the coolest arm wrestling country in the world, because everybody in Turkey loves arm wrestling. That's a fact. I'm actually sporting the Turkish colours tonight, son. Have you noticed?
Yeah. It's red and white.
Got there. Well, I couldn't do white.
Then it's not ours.
Doesn't stand out as much. I'll tell you what, mate. I'll do a special one for the Turks.
By the way, the shorts that you sent me never reached me.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. I'm still waiting.
What in the going on there?
I mean, if it would reach me, I would put on me and at least share a picture of it.
That's a bit concerning because I paid for them. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a little while because we need to look into that. Then I thought you had them, mate. I know some of your fans have got them. They've sent me pictures in them. Yeah. I have people in Engin shirts, angry as fuck.
I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you said Bojdar is coming also, huh?
Yeah, but we're waiting for Boji to show up. Boji Troll said he wanted to come on. Rolly Ray Liepins was going to come on, but Ray is stuck in, I believe, Vilnius because he's had to make an emergency landing because something had gone down in Riga. So I believe he's in Vilnius right now. You may see him in the chat if he's mucking about on his phone, but he sent me a voice message saying he couldn't get on. We just had a super chat through from Devon's Classy Finger. Are you live right now? I believe we are. Yes, I am. And Engin, while he may look like he's knackered and dead, he's alive. Oh, still got a left. Come on. Engin. Yep. What a Worlds, mate. That was a good Worlds, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was a quality World Championships. For those of you that have been living under a rock and don't know, W.A.F World Arm Wrestling Championships has just taken place in Romania. Changed the venue. It was going to be in Georgia. Can't remember the ins and outs of exactly why it wasn't in Georgia, but something went down in Georgia and they had to move it. So it was short notice. Obviously, that affected the attendances in Romania, I think it's fair to say. But whilst numbers were down, the talent on show was basically the highest possible caliber. We had names such as Ezra Kiraz. We had.
Imagine that both Zolev and Sasha.
Mate, it was ridiculous.
Couldn't win, you know. Just imagine the level, you know.
Prokopchuk, Chikasov, that was an amazing match. We had the Zolev brothers. We had, who else was there? Makarov was there.
Makarov
and
Alan Zolev. Makarov and Alan Zolev was a tough match.
We had, ridiculous. There was a few scraps, and we'll try and get into a few of those. Gashevsky, the resurgent 50-odd-year-old Gashevsky was there. Pulling well. Yanis Amelins was there. One of my favourites, Georgi Totiev, was there. There was the hometown hero in Variel Dobrin. We had, obviously, Boji, who should be coming on. Semyonov was on there. Plamen Dimitrov.
I mean, everyone was there. Vladislav was there. Oleg Zhok was there. Mazgan Shamiev, Aktaev.
Petr Margarent was there. Gladkaya, Gatalo. What an animal that is.
Yeah.
We had, obviously, Sarsho, Vasconcelos, Joran Sonev, Sedris, Arif Ertim, Engin Terzi. The list goes on.
Engin Terzi was there as a commentator.
Were you commentating?
Yeah.
In Turkish, or were you commentating too?
No, in English for the Olympic channel. Not for the YouTube.
Engin, I did not know that. Channel. I would have tuned in if I'd known. Genuinely didn't know that. Didn't know you were on there. Oh, Devon's classy finger. Love you all. Love you too, mate. And thank you very much for your super chat. Massively appreciated. But I mean, like I say, it had it all. You know, we saw some classes dominated, particularly in the ladies. To be honest, I mean, Kiraz, who is but can I just say I love that lady?
Yeah, normally 55 kg, you see Dimitrova, you see Alina Volkova, you see Victoria Ilyushina and some Georgian girls, you know.
But this year she had gone bigger as well, hadn't she, at the European?
There was no medalist, even from the past W.A.F medalists. Forget about the world champions. There was not even a medalist in the class. So Ezra dominated right and left here.
Yeah, I mean Ezra's amazing though, mate.
That girl, I think that the girls, I'm planning to set a super match between the Barbara and Gabriela, or Gabriela versus Egle.
Now that's a match everybody wants to see. I mean, we were going to do that in the W.A.F.
I think Fia versus the Kazakh girl, their left-hand match was like incredible.
Yes, Fia was awesome there. Gabi Vasconcelos is stupidly strong. I mean, I know you can say, there's no previous medalist, but Gabriela decimates top-class pullers like they're a joke.
I mean, for me, Gabriela, Egle, and Makeva are the best ever three ladies in the history for me.
Yeah,
both are like over 20 times world champion.
Like, I miss Irina Makieva. She was such a great arm wrestler. What I would say is that some of I thought there were some people that were very unfortunate in terms of the overall run of things. I think Marlene Kleinsmith was one of those actually. Yeah,
Marlene actually.
That was harsh.
It hit Gabriela so good with the start. Yeah, she bring here and then after that, you know, Gabriela.
Did she end up fourth place?
And then, what's that?
Did she end up in fourth place? I believe.
Marlene? I don't know. Where was she? She was not top three. She was not top three, but I don't know if it's fourth or something else. I don't know.
Yeah, I wanna say that she was just outside. I think she got eliminated just before the semis.
But maybe I didn't follow. There was another lady, 90 kg, from Belarus. I think she was like 37 years old or something. She just dominated, you know, especially with right arm. She was just like.
It was interesting, wasn't it? We saw, like I say, there were some classes that were dominated. There were some classes where you could see. We talk a lot, and we have talked a lot about the fact that the level, the residual level, at the W.A.F World Championships is so very, very high. And I think that's the key thing here. You can see that some of the guys that you would expect. I mean, at the European Championships, you saw Krasovskis, Vlad the Destroyer was right there. In this competition, I think he was fourth or fifth. I think fifth.
Did you watch the event or
Yeah.
All of them, or you just watch some?
I watched 90% of the event, mate. I was, after the working day, in the evenings, I was just literally locked in a room. There it is.
Do you remember
Wow.
what you watched? Do you remember Vladislav? Who did he lose against with left arm?
Trying to remember. I actually don't remember off the top of my head. I know that he had some very impressive wins, and I know that he had some very impressive wins inside. Now, I know that we've seen him do that again, but he's usually that guy who's known for the fast finish, wants to finish people quickly with the top roll.
Bojdar with left arm beat Vladislav with outside.
Yes, yeah, mate. Bojdar with the left.
Yeah, at the Europeans, Bojdar catch him inside, and then with the inner side pressure beat him. This time he went to strap, and even easier way he beat him with the outside move. Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody try harder than Bojdar with Jacques? I mean, Jesus, how much effort! He nearly blacked out.
Yeah.
On the left arm, that was effort, mate. There was nothing left.
He had no chance to win.
No,
but he hung on there, for near 30 seconds. Gave his everything. I think Zok is back. I don't think that he is like people may be thinking that if Zok would be totally, like back, he would destroy. But just imagine before his accident, Plemen also top rolled his wrist at the
yes, he did.
Antalya World Championship. So, I mean, I'm just trying to say that Zok is incredible, but sometimes he was in trouble even before his accident,
Yeah, I think there's a misconception that some of the middleweight guys, if you go from sort of 80 kilos, 85, 90, certainly when you get above 90, but some of those guys that he's pulling in his home weight class. I know he's famous for going up and giant killing, but even in his own weight class, there are some killers in those classes. Absolute kill. Dimitrov's one of them. I mean, Plemen looked. I know he had a little bit of luck with the draw and other people getting tied up in battles and so on, but Plemen Dimitrov is in my opinion, one of the most underrated arm wrestlers on earth. I think he's a fantastic arm wrestler. Clinical. Yeah. He's almost boring. He's that good.
This was the first time he beat Haji Murat that I saw. I wasn't sure what was going on there. I have never seen
in the semi-final.
Haji Murat. I have never seen Haji Murat that aggressive. He was so angry. He was, really like loud, to the refs and to the Plemen. Probably he was upset that Plemen wasn't trying to get a grip. I think he wanted to beat him without the strap. So once the strap was put, just one hit, Plemen took his wrist. Usually Zolev resists this way and still beats Plemen because this happened before. But this time his wrist went and he won the resist, and then he suddenly let it go and he held his elbow. And I asked him after the event, was your injury? I guessed that his injury was there already before the event. Yeah. Maybe I was thinking that maybe that is why he didn't want to go to strap so much and he get angry. But he said that he got injured during the match. He said, from here he was like the tick, 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 And I asked him, like, can you still pull John? And he said, yeah, he will be okay. It's not like that serious, like terrible injury. But he said he will be ready for John on February 12th.
Did you talk to him about why he was so aggressive? Do you think it was pressure?
I'm sure. I think he was talking with Yanis and Raimonds probably. If Raimonds would be here, he would just say something. But I didn't, I don't speak the same language. So even the few question that, I asked him was through them. But they had their own conversation. And after the competition finished, they were sitting, all those Russians, Matvyshenko, Maxim Chersky, Kalimiko, and the Haji Murat. Many of them were sitting there. We also talked a little bit more, but mostly they were just drinking and talking, with each other. I was mostly chatting with Matvyshenko because he speaks English.
Oh my God, it's perfect.
Yeah. So I didn't really know what was going on. He was very angry. I never seen him. He just went out the stage and still was screaming back there. I didn't know what happened, so I have no idea what happened. If he was right, if he was wrong, I have no clue.
Yeah, you do wonder whether it was just pressure. I mean, obviously he's going in there with an enormous reputation, and you wonder whether he thinks, well, I'm not invincible. Everybody expects him to win. Obviously, he didn't get the result this time out. I mean, everybody's allowed an off day, you know what I mean? And like you say, if he's got a little bit of an injury in there, he's a man, not a machine. You've got to cut him some slack. So it could be that. It could just be that he was not feeling great, you know. God knows what other distractions are in the man's life. Jesse Zanju, thank you for your super chat, mate. Arm Wars in the mother fluffing house. Thank you, Jesse. Much appreciate the super chat. Thanks for supporting the channel, brother. I mean, let's be honest. I thought he was unlucky in the semi-final. If I'm perfectly honest, on the right. I mean, I know.
What are you talking about?
The elbow foul on Haji. He got
against the semi-final match.
Because I believe when it showed, you know how it was showing the hit, and then it showed the finish, and then it went to the sort of GoPro that they had mounted on the table. And when you looked at that, it appeared as though his opponent, the Kazakh, came off the front of the pad as he went off the back of the pad, and that could be why he went off the. I don't know.
I think that they look at it, carefully after that. My guess is that there was the pin before the foul.
That's what I'm saying. It looked to me, razor. It's World Championship, so you got to be sure, haven't you? But it was bloody close, that decision. It was tight. And sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it goes against you. That was one of those decisions where, again, I was thinking, it's a bit tight. I thought that was.
Haji could beat the guy, easily. I mean, but if you realize that, he was trying to not to get joint involvement, he was just dragging, just to not to have pressure on his elbow. If you realize, normally he could go even the little bit, side. Still, he's not a joint puller, but this time I see that he was really running away from the joint pressure, and he risked himself for the semi-final match, but for the final he didn't want to continue. Probably he didn't want to make it worse. I think he really cares about his upcoming match versus John.
Sure.
That John versus Haji Murat match for me is not about only like Haji is the best of today. He was, but right now he lost. But it is something different. It is Haji is one of the best ever pullers in the history, and John is the greatest of all time. And these two to meet each other is not a present time thing. It's just like a historical event. You're talking about a guy that won 2003 Worlds and kept winning with a few losses only, including 2019 W.A.F he won, and now with second place in 2021. Talking about 2002, he was second to Rustem Babayev in Egypt W.A.F, and now 2021, second place. I mean, this guy is amazing. His career is incredible, and I asked one time Arsen, like, what do you think about the greats of all time? And he said, Engin, are you seriously asking me this? He said, of course it's John. And I said, can you ask Zolev the same question, what he thinks? And he said that he didn't answer. And it just gives me an idea that Haji Murat wants to be probably recognized as the greatest ever.
I with the greatest of respect to Haji, I don't put him in that bracket. Honestly, I really don't. I think he's
who would you put in bracket if you are not putting Haji?
Why?
For me, John is in his own league. But if you really want to get someone close, you're talking about waffles, and Neil, you know better than anyone else how hard it is to win a world title in W.A.F.
In my opinion,
especially 90 and under. And this guy, 2002 second place, 2003 world champion, and almost all of them he won till 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And 2021, he's 37 years old. With some, I can see that he had injury. And second place, that guy is doing something that what he does, what he has been doing in W.A.F is nothing less than anything else. Of course, we can compare with John for sure.
Yeah, let me make the distinction of what I was saying there, mate. That's basically, if you were saying to me, greatest middleweights of all time, and that conversation, you put it, I would without question put him into that conversation. He is without question the greatest middleweights of all time. But if you're talking about the greatest arm wrestler, bar none, I don't put him in that bracket for the simple reason that he hasn't been as prolific in terms of giant killing as John did. And he hasn't been there. Let me give you an example. If he was to beat John now, when John's 57, it's almost a shame for Haji, because the fact that John is 57,
it's not shame, you know. It's not shame.
It is in a way, because he can't. He's not going to.
I mean, Haji is started with a 70 kilo as a 70 kilo guy.
Yes.
Haji is still pulling someone like with a big structure, you know. And like I don't, just because Haji may weigh very close 93, 94, and John is 100, they are not really that close in their natural weights. We're talking about much bigger men versus.
Who's the favorite in your eyes in the match?
I don't know about it, but I don't agree with you about this, about giant killer. You are talking about Haji Murat when he was 75 kilo. He was beating Semerenko, Matyushenko, the 100 kilo and over guys, you know.
But he was also losing to the same crop of guys. So he was losing to them
John
as
as
well.
a 105 kilo guy was a giant killer, but also was losing to Gary Goodrich, Richard Lucas, Alan Karaev, Alexei Voivoda. You know, he has losses to Denis and Pushkar, and lost 2005 versus Ferid. I mean, I'm not saying that John is the greatest of all time, but just we can't go by the losses that, you know, discredit. No. What John did was, I mean, I wouldn't even consider John's losses, while there are a lot of great things that he has done. It is same for the Haji. It's Haji to lose, be 75 kilo, losing to some heavyweight guy, to Pushkar or something. I mean, it's not same like Haji is not 105 kilo guy. So him to hunt people up to 100 kilo is for me same John to weigh 105 kilo and beating the super heavyweights. I cannot expect.
Yeah, you're saying that he's still killing giants. It's just not the overall giant.
But he can't. His size doesn't allow him. You are like saying that Habib to beat the. What's the guy, Fedor, or what was his name?
Well, if he was beating Ngannou, Francis Ngannou now, you know, who's the current heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC.
No, I mean, it's like a real match or something. I don't know. Like, do you think that Mayweather can beat Muhammad Ali in boxing, or Klitschko? Yeah, this is what I am saying, that his capacity is limited. He can do great things up to 100 kilo. You can't expect him to beat Denis or Pushkar or something. He beat Pushkar.
Let me make another point on that, though, Engin. Okay, when John goes bigger, when John's bigger now, to me, there's quite a bit of fat there. He's quite a bit of, he gets in shape, but there's a lot of. Haji Zolev is like a friggin' athlete.
No.
Like a friggin' athlete.
Show you his pictures from 75 kilo, those skinny legs, very tiny belly, no butt at all. Compared to now, the legs are bigger, belly is thicker, butt is bigger, you know. I mean, he doesn't gain the weight only from the up there, trust me. There is easily 10 kilo from belly,
for me,
butt, and
he's
legs.
Not Brzenk. He's just, he's mega. Zolev's mega. His lineage is mega.
I say the same thing. That you can't compare anyone with John. I'm just saying that if you are going to compare someone pound for pound, Zolev is one of the guys that, you know, in that conversation.
Another distinction for you, mate. Another quick distinction for you. For me, how I grade these guys, okay, why I put a guy into a certain category is various things. It's not just victories. I mean, you could say, oh, Pushkar was incredible for victories over a long period of time at W.A.F tournaments and so on. It's exceptional.
Who?
Andre Pushkar. I know this.
Just let me finish this point. I will tell you something. Just
Let
don't
me finish
forget
your point
about
first,
the
then we'll go on.
Okay, you say.
Okay. So, John, what made him truly exceptional was his roundedness, his fluidity, his timing, his arm wrestling skill was absolutely exceptional in all areas. His ability to beat the best in any position at will. Up to recently, people were still surprised to see Hadji's OF top roll. When he top rolled Todzilla, people were shocked and surprised. Wow, Hadji's got a top roll. Of course he's got a top roll. He's always had a top roll, but he didn't want to get it out of the bag because he wasn't as confident in it. What made John incredible to me was the fact that he would go anywhere and everywhere at will against anyone.
Yeah, but not all of them was because to show his skills, but because he couldn't find a way in that way, so he tried the other way.
Yes.
But when you are very good at something that is working against anyone, why do you need to do fantasy and do this way, that way, that way? It's John because Hadji was able to. I'm talking about 98% of the times he was able to. Boom. Why he needs to top roll the guy? I mean, he needed to top roll Tata Jinx and he did it. So what I'm just saying, you can't compare anyone with John. Not only if you are going there about the skills, I mean, forget about it.
That's exactly where I am going, and that's why he's not in that conversation.
I agree. To me, John is here. Then you give empty spaces till 10, and then you can count 11, 12, but just leave that area.
That's where I'm talking about, and that's where I am. Now, Hadji comes in. Once you get to that 10, Hadji's in that conversation. He's right.
But between the 1 and 10, there is no other one either.
No.
This is what I am trying to say. Yeah.
John is weird.
John is arm wrestling. John is today. I and Niyazukut, when we were coming back, we were talking about like what is the like better arm wrestler, like well-rounders doing this, doing that. Yeah, it's a skill. But many of the guys that needed to pull this way is not because they would love to, because they are not able to control everything. So that is why they were put in this position,
isn't it?
Because they were not good enough to have.
Yeah,
this.
It's the famous.
That is why they needed to pull this way, that way, this way. Yeah. So you understand my point.
Florida Hoagland, the famous comment. Oh, Florida, you're so entertaining. The way you arm wrestle is so entertaining. And Florida cuttingly just says, well, the way I arm wrestle in all of these matches is not at all what I planned. I'm trying to keep my hand into top roll, and he took my hand, so I had to pull from there. But believe me,
so what I'm just saying just because he's put in this position, it doesn't make it better than the one that controls almost 99% of the opponents. He's able to do that. Just because he doesn't pull in those positions, it's because most of the times he is not put in that positions. He is successful enough to control. But of course, it's good to be well-rounded. When you talk about John is the both ways. John most of the time controls the match, but seldom, if things get out of the control, he can still pull in that position. Like Michael, most of the time loses the hand control. Most of the time, I'm talking especially early career. Yeah. But he was put in all those positions. He got so strong because he was able to pull effectively in any positions. But John is not like that. John still just go if he's healthy, if he's in good shape. John is the one that also controls everything. But once he loses the control, he can also be a Michael Todd. Maybe not this one, but other than that, he can also pull in different ways. Yeah. So John is that way and that way, while Engin is controller, but not so good once losing the control. Do you know what?
Cobra Rhodes, Andreas Rundstrom. A lot of guys in that fall into that category. So many. Oh, we just had a message here from Phil Woody in Phil Woody UK. Neil, I can't super chat right now. Please ask Engin if I can get a seat for MTT versus Gennady in Istanbul on Feb 12th. Cheers, Phil Woody. Get a seat. Is it, in other words, I think, is that an open event, mate? Can anybody come watch?
Just it's about to set the event. It is very soon, but right now I can't say anything.
Okay, let me just actually go into
We
the
are finalizing. Yeah,
because I haven't been looking at the chat at all. We've got carried away. Benjamin Mack, when will Arm Wars make a comeback to Las Vegas? You know what, mate? I don't know. I've no plans to travel with Arm Wars right now, just due to the fact that it's hard to travel and the complexities. It's bad enough when the guys are coming to the UK, but yeah, with Omicron or the bloody hell it's called, sounds like a friggin' Avenger coming now. I really don't know. No plans to do that right now. No plans to do that right now. Let's have a look. What else we got? Skimming down here. Levan Gasparini, what was the woman from the USA who took podium? Benjamin Mack, I can't remember her name.
I think I don't know the name, but she had very big hands. I saw.
Did I see that?
That's what I gotta see.
Wasn't it Angela Matthews, was it?
Probably. Yeah, probably. It looked like a Johnny Walker arm with those big hands, good control. But
what she looked like?
All I remember, she had, I don't know, big hands, strong hands. Yeah.
Okay, I saw Angela Matthews pulling.
Yeah.
For the USA, black lady, big long forearm, very, like you say, big hand. Pretty commits quite hard with the shoulder, likes the top row. I don't know who you're on about, but I know.
I didn't really watch so carefully. You know, I mean, I apologize, ladies, but when I have like 6 tables front of me, I kind of prepare to follow the men's classes. Nothing against the female arm wrestling. I'm sure that if they were sitting by me, they would be following the female arm wrestling. So
I think Angela did take a podium though on the lefty. I think
third place.
Yeah,
I think.
We're talking left arm here, yeah.
Yeah, I think yes.
Yeah, I think it's Angela, but I may be talking. I'm really sorry if I've disrespected any of the US ladies that were on the podium. I'm just trying to think back. Can't remember. I'm going with Angela. Could be someone else. Let's have a look. Oh, we got a super chat. Micah. Love you, Neil and Engin. Phil Woody UK wants to ask Engin if you can get it. Oh, right. Okay, mate. I've just actually talked about that a second ago. For him, it's the same one. Good job, Micah. He's actually asked Phil Woody's question. That was the question I asked you a moment ago, mate. Let's have a look. What else we got in here? We'll catch up a little bit. I don't think there was any others. And then I want to get back onto the Zola attack a little bit while focusing back on what went on there. Let's have a look. Timmy Turner. Rustam and Pushkar were two of the most accomplished arm wrestlers in terms of European worlds and Zlotys. They were. Rustam, obviously, quite remarkable because didn't have a lot of options in terms of length of arm and so on. Was forced into the hook a lot.
Rustam's W.A.F career was about 10 years, while this was 19-year-old Zola. And about the Pushkar, you know how much I defend W.A.F and how much I advertise W.A.F because it deserves it. But the categories between 55 to 90 kg are the best categories, and there is no one on the earth that can claim that, you know, they are better than those guys. We all know it. But when you go 100, 110 kilo and the plus 110 kg, W.A.F does not always represent the absolute best in the world. When you go up there, you will still have Levan, Lalatin, and this and that, you know, many other guys. So Pushkar, yes, he did great in the W.A.F, but even when Pushkar was winning W.A.F, there were a lot of other arm wrestlers, super heavyweights on the earth that were considered, you know, amongst the best. So when Pushkar was winning W.A.F, he wasn't facing all of the best super heavyweights in the world. And also the Pushkar and Dennis. Neil, I want to ask something. Like, I think that Dennis, I think almost always beat Pushkar in fresh matches. And
yeah, except for the famous day one example, yeah.
Yeah, but just like I don't understand. Like imagine that, you know, you're having like 50 versus 5, you know, winning record, and then the guy with the 5 winning is considered above you. Like it's kind of like almost every time I see if they are fresh, you know. Of course, a few exceptions, but Dennis was beating Pushkar. You know, they say that 2015 or 2000, those years, you know, Pushkar would beat Dennis. Dennis and Dave Chappie killed each other, of course, but they said that Pushkar would beat. But around those years, Pushkar also had a loss to Dimitri Turubin, and also like in a one zloty he lost, and another zloty he was losing, but Dimitri Turubin lost on elbow fouls. Yeah, I mean the same Dimitri Turubin we see. I don't know, with Larratt, even he pulled the Levan or the W.A.F version. You know, when Trubin and Levan pulled, Levan won 6-0 as far as I remember. It was not like, but it was still stopping and beating him. But that Levan was the Levan that was competing in W.A.F, not the Levan that we saw. So, and then whenever we see, of course, in a super match in America, Pushkar beat Trubin, but even after that, as far as I remember, Pushkar and Trubin, Pushkar top rolled Trubin, and Trubin was either won or won on fouls by pin or won on fouls or something. So I'm just saying that Pushkar, yes, one of the greatest ever for sure. You know, but
magnificent tournament arm wrestler. He really was. He's magnificent tournament arm wrestler.
Yeah.
Tournament, he would blast through the competition.
Yeah, but those 2 times that I remind you were in the Zloty tour against Dimitri Turubin. Yeah. And then many times that Dennis beat him, not many times, most of them were in also tournament that, you know, Dennis also beat him. Yeah, this is what I am saying. He's one of the greatest, but whenever people ranks him like he was untouchable, absolutely untouchable, nah, I kind of disagree with that.
Yeah, that's just not valid. He wasn't untouchable at all.
Yeah.
He wasn't untouchable. Let's knock over a couple of supers. Catch up here. Engin's fake taxi account. Thanks for that, mate. Engin, your fake taxi subscription payment is due. Trust me, Engin has literally no idea what that means. I wouldn't worry about that too much, mate. Thanks for your super chats, guys. Let's have a look as we go down. And what else we got in this mother fluffer? We got Tony Tomlinson with a super chat. Sometime this next year, I'd like to go to train with Engin and his guys or compete in a tournament with them. Mate, let me tell you, Tony, if you go over to Turkey, the knowledge is immoral. There is a ridiculous amount of knowledge in Turkey. Not only from this fella, you got the Wolf over there. Listen, the depth of talent is stupid. And everybody loves it. When you're knocking around in bars, in pubs, in restaurants, people like arm wrestling. They're into the sport of arm wrestling. If you do a tournament, when you've done tournaments over there, how many people would show up at a tournament, mate, just to watch?
Just to watch, I don't know. I don't think that there are a lot. I mean, when we do the national championships, in fact, you know, they do usually in a hotel, like a resort, and then only the competitor, because it's competitors with the juniors and everything is over 1,200 competitors for every national championships. I think there was no COVID this year. It would be very near, probably 2,000 people for the.
So you get nearly 2,000 people at the nationals.
No. I was expecting that, but it has been more than 1,200, 300 for the national championships. We did, as I told you before, that we did the amongst the kids, you know, like school, you know, middle school and the high school. There was 33,000 school kids competed in the qualifications.
I think that's wonderful, mate. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
But I will tell you something. Arm wrestling has that potential.
Oh yeah.
Arm wrestling. This is what you see on the iceberg. You know, you just like most is like we are still not discovered. You know, the world still doesn't know how beautiful, how great sport arm wrestling is. And then trust me, the future is so bright. The ones that makes good investment today will be the leaders of tomorrow.
And there
For
was
sure.
so much evidence of that in the WAF worlds, and we'll come back to that in a second. I'll knock over these super chats and we'll carry on down that route. Fat Legless Bird, thanks for your super chat. Dutch represented properly in the Masters, eh? Boris is a frigging beast. Sad Maynard Nentjes wasn't there. Maynard is back, though, mate. He's coming to the Arm Wars, where he will be pulling Jonathan, Uncle John Thompson. And that's going down in January. Also in January, remember, Istanbul. In fact, it's February, 12th of February. Another one in February is Kirsten Prodigy, who's in the chat right now, and he's going to be pulling Superstar, Bozhidar, Simeonov over in Malta. A lot of arm wrestling coming. Jan, Feb, some crazy stuff. You know, we got Lachlan Adair, Todd Zilla coming up in January as well. It's all going off. Let's pick up Kirsten Prodigy's super chat. Would like to congratulate Bozhidar for the title. Now it's more interesting for me because I will have to take down the current world champion. Can't wait to hear Ready Go from Engin Terzi. Engin's going to be over there reffing in Malta.
Yeah, if there is no problem with the restrictions.
Yeah.
Could
well be.
I still have not vaccines.
Juji Mugu, thanks for your super chat. Neil, I wish you picked Engin as a fellow commentator for Devon versus Brzenk. He has the best sarcastic and tongue-in-cheek comments and has great commentary and insight. I love Monster, but not for this. Mate, Engin can talk about arm wrestling with anyone for longer than anyone. One of my favorite, let me tell you something, right? One of my favorite things, genuinely, about going to arm wrestling competitions all around the world ever was usually I'd roll into reception, right? Before I'd gone up to my frigging room to drop my bag off, I'd roll into reception and Engin would be stood there. And he'd look across and be like, all right, son. Next thing you know, we'd be sat in reception. I might not go up to my room to drop my bags off for like 4 hours. Once we got going, that was it. That was it. We would talk.
Today, when we were coming back from Romania in the flight, Niazi had to look at outside and start talking about the clouds and everything because he was so tired of me talking about arm wrestling.
Yeah, non-stop. He is the most obsessed arm wrestler in the history of arm wrestling. Absolute quality. You got to love it. Voice of Arm Wrestling is there. Send me a link. I'm on a bus and I can join. I'm going to fire that over. I'm going to send over the link to Rolly Ray. I think he wants to come in.
Who is he?
You know Ray Liepins? He's on a bus. And I think he wants to come in, which will be nice. Let me send this over to him while we're doing this, guys. So let's have a look. I'll just pick up the link. We haven't seen Bozhidar yet. I'm assuming he hasn't. He's probably still celebrating. You know.
No, because he's probably heard that after pull with me.
Let's have a look. Rolly Raimonds Liepins, Ray Undisputed. It is, I think. So while we're on the thing about the youngsters, all right, I'm gonna just say there's not many more impressive youngsters than Alan Zoliev. Believe me, mate.
Mm-hmm.
That what a beast that is. I mean,
I will tell you something, Neil.
Strong, mate.
We're talking about 20, 21 years old. Of course, it's young, but just because we opened the category up to 21, now when I won my first world title, I was 19 years old.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just saying that 20, 21 years, of course, they are young, but I mean, we're talking about a grown person, and of course, he's incredible. I think his match, he and Artur Makarov, they were like not one but two heads above the rest of the competitors in that class. Yeah. And I just checked, I counted their strap matches, 3 matches. It was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Alan had the control. But whenever he started to try to pin Makarov, his wrist was not handling first and third match when Artur went outside. But when Artur went like a dragging move and wait there, Zoliev was able to get out, topple and pin him. But I think that strength was close, but better hands, a little bit better hand of Alan, and more endurance gave him the victory. But it's still 2 minutes and 15 seconds. But when I saw Artur's match with Yanis, I was expecting Yanis to at least a little bit hang, even take it Arthur's wrist, it was nowhere close. It was like Arthur was very dominant. After that match, I saw Christo and Arthur. I was thinking Christo to the move, open arm top roll, and then stop. I don't know if you watched the match, but it was just like too much.
Oh, yeah.
Those two guys were
Christo pulled well.
Right here.
Christo pulled well. Giannis Amelins, not many people more clinical in top rolling people than Giannis. But as soon as the breaks went on, the first match, little slip, they put the strap on, and Giannis, all he got was the nod across the table to Zoloyev. He was just like, yeah.
But did you see him with Arthur as well?
Yes. Yeah.
You saw? Yeah.
They're ladies and gents, we're joined by Ray Liepins, and he looks like he's in a porno disco. What's with the flashy lights, son? What's going on? Where are you at?
I'm on a bus to Riga. So Riga airport, we have high snow, basically snowstorm in Latvia. So we have to land in Lithuania. We waited 4 hours. Now we're on a bus. The other bus is broken in front of us. It's an amazing day. It's just an amazing day.
Yeah, you're having a really great day. I hope you.
I was supposed to be home for 6 hours ago. So
yeah.
Amazing day.
We were together last night till 1 a.m. in the morning. We were talking, discussing. He said that his flight was so early in the morning, and I am home already 5 hours ago, and still he's trying to.
Yeah. He can handle it though, Engin. He's only. He's only 14 years old. Ray can handle it.
Yeah.
3 months. Never looked like me and you. Rough as arseholes. It's terrible, isn't it?
Not after this trip.
We got a super chat from DCS Beamer. Hi, Neil Engin. Hope you're both doing good. Engin, who do you think will win between Hermes and Gennady Quikvinya?
I heard that they are gonna pull left hand. Is it left or right arm they are playing?
Right arm, surely.
Right arm.
Sure? Right arm, because I talked with Hermes. He said that he wasn't feeling his arm good. Maybe left arm is gonna pull or something. But for sure, right arm they are pulling, huh?
That's as far as I'm aware, it's right arm. Unless I've missed something, it's right arm.
I don't know. All I know that Gennady hasn't been playing forever, and from one side, he came to Istanbul event to watch. He looked very strong there, and he's hungry, to win. While Hermes was just going so well, his mood, everything was so good. Until he pulled Kurdesha. Kurdesha is a very strong guy as well, but I don't know if there is any problem with the confidence of Hermes after the Kurdesha experience. I don't expect any domination by either side. I don't expect, but I expect a war. But then we will see if Hermes will be able to finish him, or Gennady will tire Hermes to win. This is my opinion from outside. I don't know their current form so good. It's very hard for me to gauge Hermes' form by Kurdesha. Kurdesha looks, Kurdesha was already strong. He was just mostly depending on, just brachyradialis pulling this way. Now the Kurdesha I see just with the very good arm wrestler right now, with the wrist, everything, and control. He's just now complete arm wrestler compared to before, just trying to lift the open elbow from the pad this way. It's not the way he should. The way that he's playing now is very good. He's becoming one of my favorite athletes, So I cannot really say that Hermes is in bad shape. Hermes told me his shape was better than his shape versus Mask. He said he was in better shape. He said he was 121 kilo. And he said that his power, everything was so good. But he said Kurdesha is in another level, he says. So I'm just thinking Hermes is good, but we don't know about Gennady. We only see some trainings, some practice pulls. I'm sure that Gennady is not going there with a bad form. So I can see that technically Hermes is better, but we know what a warrior Gennady is, so it's hard to say something,
I love that Ray just showed us how crap his day is. Not only is he not home yet, he's now in a traffic jam. He just spun the phone round and he's in a line of mate. That's a terrible day you're having there. Yeah, you be careful when you're putting your dick away if you go for a piss. Anything can happen. And we've all been there. Nobody wants the zip experience.
And this is the most like you're going to see from me.
Probably going to happen. So. Probably going to happen. Sean Lennon, super chat. Thanks, brother. No question in there or anything, but he's just given us a super chat. Really appreciate the support of the channel, mate. But we were talking about, Ray, we were talking about young people coming in there. Obviously, you know, arm wrestling becoming more and more popular, more people starting young and more talent in the youth section than you would ever see. Like young Mr. Blue Manus, who was ridiculous, wasn't he? You were talking about him after the Europeans, and he looked awesome. Kristaps Blue Manus, he's mega.
Yeah, he's sitting like a meter away from me watching this on YouTube. I was talking about him before because he was starting to kill us in training, you know, in practices with Vlad, Giannis, everyone. And we were just kind of, you know, like, this kid looks real. He did amazing. We didn't expect right arm to do so well because usually with the right arm, he cannot, when we have the best of the best come, he's like at the last guy there. And he usually practices left more than right because he cannot really beat with right. But I think the right arm level there is just bigger. So he did very good. I'm very excited to see how he will do next
is this the
3
guy
years.
Is this the guy that was injured?
No,
but Yanis told me about a guy, you know, the guy that you were talking about.
Oh, that's another one. That's another one.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was an 85 Toms. Yeah.
And you're talking about which category guy now?
Our junior. Oh,
the 80 kilo guy.
75. He's 75, but in seniors we didn't have place because Giannis and Kaspers was in 75, so he went up to 80.
Oh, okay. He was 75 kilo. Okay.
Yeah, he was 73.8, something like that. Just, you know, This,
go down the shield. Yes,
at the Europeans.
That's Kristaps. Yeah, he's mega.
Yeah,
very impressive. And you look at guys like that. I mean, you look at Alan Zulayev, and he does. What did he go? Double gold junior, double gold senior. What lost one frigging match, the entire event on fouls to Makarov. In fact, it was fouls. Yeah, it was fouls to Makarov.
It wasn't junior, but youth, I think.
Youth. But 4 golds and incredible. Unbelievably impressive performance.
Yes.
Just absolutely stupid level. And these new youngsters are coming through, and they're going to be animals. It's good to see, you know. I like to see these guys coming through, the new superstars, because you do have that crop of guys who've been sort of outliers for a while. We talked earlier on about Plamen Dimitrov, who I don't think gets enough recognition. Like I said, he's almost boring. He's so clinical. You know, it's a bit like Giannis is like that, isn't he? Giannis is not maybe the most exciting, intense arm wrestler to watch because he's so frigging good. He just sleeps people. He takes your hand and wrist, puts you to bed, done, tucks you in. Mr. Clean. Always absolutely spot on. What I like about Kristaps is the fact that the guy goes flying in and commits. He'll jump on it with his wrist busted, back shoulder going in there. He's only a kid. So, yeah, superstar for me, that lad. I think he's going to be incredible. Looking mega. Big fan of big fan of him. Love him. Absolutely love him. I'll tell you who else it was nice to see do well. Viral Dobrin. I mean, that's a little bit of a fairy story, isn't it? Viral Dobrin's been pulling forever. Really lovely lad. Super good arm wrestler. Gets a world title, his first world title in his home nation of Romania. You can't knock that. I absolutely delighted for the lad. I think that's wonderful. Massive fan of Viral Dobrin. Had a bit of a laugh. True story, Engin. I was messaging yesterday on Messenger on Facebook with Viral Dobrin after the Worlds. I was also at the same time had another strand going to Gabriela Vasconcelos. Gabby sends me a message. She says, "Hey, Fatty," because she knows me. "I'm in the semi-final." I says, "Yes, lady, I'm watching." Best of luck with that. Send it to Viral Dobrin. Comes back and he blows me a kiss. I said, not a lady. I said, I know. And if you were, you'd be a fucking ugly one. Just had 2 strands going. But nevertheless, Viral Dobrin had a wonderful day. It didn't put him off me calling him a woman.
We were beat Tautiev before as well. A few years ago, again, he beat him. And we were thinking that after we started to witness that Tautiev's, beating Haji or giving trouble to Haji, often. And so I was thinking that now Tautiev was in another level, but whenever I saw their match, I realized that Viorel arm wrestles in a unorthodox way. And once he brings you into the game that he is a master of, then you are done. You are done. Whenever I pull a super match with him, 4 rounds, I hit over his pronator. Only 1 round, I top roll. I took everything. He had little bit pronator. It took me 15 seconds to bring him down because his joints are like steel joints. So, I mean, if you don't have very good wrist, I think he is most dangerous thing against him is do you know Hamza Zipak?
Yes.
Or Viorel with the inner side pressure to the sideway. Usually Viorel loses against those type of guys. They go in inside with the inner spinated side pressure. And I was hoping that Viorel would go to do 85, not 80, because in 80 kilo there were more of experienced pullers. In 85, I mean Tautiev and him look, But when you go 80 kilo, you had Vadim Ekperov, you had Gashevsky, you had Bozhidar, you had Vladislavs, and there were some other guys, Kazakhs, And in 85 also there was Aktaev. I saw Aktaev versus Tautiev. He couldn't do much to him. But Aktaev was 80 kilo. He pulled 80 kilo left hand. I think there was an open spot at 85. He pulled 85 kilo right hand.
It was, who was your match of the tournament? I mean, everybody's going to think this is an absolute foregone conclusion. It's got to be Cherkasov, Prokopchuk.
Daniel.
What a match! That was a friggin'. Talk about back and forth battle in the left arm finals. Holy Christ. If you haven't seen that, guys, get yourself over. Just check out the finals. Honestly.
They got like thinner while the match was going on. Their faces from puffy went to very skinny. And the color of their skin changed. It was just amazing match to watch. Persistence, Cherkasov was working really, really smart, but he just couldn't finish him on the second try. On the first strike, he did perfect, but on the second one, when the shot was on his side, Daniel capitalized on that. And I was thinking Daniel's wrist must be completely dead, but it wasn't.
He must have some pain because, he went so hard onto the joint. He got, Cherkasov pushed him open and was pronating on him, and dragging on him, gaining height and then hitting again. The strap was a little loose. He'll be in a terrible condition.
These are the stories that I have heard from Romanian athletes that they say that with left arm, you can take the wrist of Daniel. You cannot pin his arm or open it up. They said like, it's so hard. It takes like forever to do it. And we saw it here, you need like a really, really good press, good press, not just top. You need top roll and press. But him, I would love to see him having like a good inside war versus like some really good inside puller to see, can someone beat him inside? Does that look mega?
What I actually loved about it, Ray, was the fact that on the left arm, Daniel won and Oleg got the right. And it was kind of nice because that final on the left was like befitting. You didn't want anybody not to get the world title. It was befitting the world championship final. It was ace.
On the live show, I said just before the second final, it was 1-1. I said just give both guys gold medal. Just let them
It was awesome. But joking aside, I've always been a little upset when you see world titles decided on fouls. You see world titles.
It didn't. It was by pins.
No. What I'm getting at, I'm always a little disappointed if a world title's decided on fouls, decided on issues, decided
Me too.
on the opposite side of this. That's how you get a world title. In that, if you want to win a world title, that's one you can look back on forever and be like, I've still got the damage in my ligaments to prove that one. That was a frigging all-time epic. It reminded me of the match between bloody Larratt and Guitar.
Yeah, but that was different. Alexander Gatalo. You're talking about Alexander.
Yeah,
Alexander
that match with Larratt and Gatalo was another epic match where.
Yes, but remember.
That was not
had a foul already or something. He just waited like this. It was plus 10 minutes, but it just like this. 10 minutes. No movement here, no movement here. 10 minutes there. Cherkasov versus Daniel was actual war.
Oh, yeah.
Plus 5 minutes.
Mostly down to Cherkasov.
Were you in Malaysia?
Making the running.
You were not in Malaysia then. But no. I was watching the table surface was lake. And they were like I mean, their sweat made the table surface like lake. I mean, there wasn't only wet; it was like a water there, you know. After 10, 11 minutes, this was the thing. Yeah,
those are when you get a final of any major tournament, and it's one of those go out on your shield death wars. Those are the ones, mate. That's how it should be, you know. Those are the ones. I remember in Italy, 2001. I remember looking around where my class was going and watching Niazi, Semerenko, and Fadzinov beating the piss out of each other in the 80s. Yeah. It was mega. I was watching that class. I loved it. It was mega. Just a little, their own little battle going on. And you'd see them just in stupid death wars. The wolf in the thick of it. I loved it, mate. That's what it's about.
You know, you were talking about the injury that you know that this is from this competition. During my arm wrestling career, I had 2 times surgery, and both happened during the W.A.F final. Good that I won both.
With Anatoly?
Yeah, and the other one is in Malaysia. The other one is the Malaysia final. I won both. You know, when you have that injury, you know that you're going into the surgery, but you know that you won the gold. I mean, sorry, my language, but you don't give a shit, you know, it's okay.
Yeah, because remember when you told me you was in the bath after the World Championships and you were considering cutting your arm off because you lost.
Oh, yeah. It was, yeah.
Sounds like Engin. Like Engin, yeah.
That's that, yeah. It was so...
No. It doesn't sound like the Engin of today. It was the Engin of 22 years old, which you don't know, but Neil knows.
Then he was really angry. That was when he was at his most venomous. Oh, man. It was mega. Absolute quality. It was quality. So we just had a super chat from Matthew. Thanks, mate. But Neil, have you ever thought about a Canada versus USA arm wrestling event? North America versus Europe seems like a fairy tale. Canada versus US would be more entertaining. To be honest, I have, and I've actually thought about both. I've thought about North America versus rest of the world. I've thought about Europe versus rest of the world. Yeah, I've got a lot of connotations on it, mate. So yeah, watch this space. Arm Wars is back. A lot of opportunities coming, a lot of action coming. We launch on Christmas this year. Christmas. There's probably going to be links in there. I'm sure that the links have been put in there. I haven't been keeping up on the chat, so I'm hoping they have. If not, check out the description. Get over there. Have it.
Neil, let's go to the 90 kg left arm category. You wanna start, Raimonds? What do you think?
Let's be honest. He's always been a beast, but Christ Almighty God, explosive.
You're talking about Tino?
Yeah,
I've always rated him extremely highly, mate. He's he's not dissimilar to Gennady Quickvinia in that he was one of those guys who just hit his position, turned to the crowd and start shouting some venomous shit into the crowd. I didn't know what he was saying, but it was ace. Whatever he was saying, he meant it.
Always left arm was the better arm.
Yeah, he's mega.
The left has always been better than his right.
And I mean, it goes to underline what we were saying earlier on. The residual level at the W.A.F Worlds is sick.
Yeah.
There are a number of guys, not one or two guys, there are a number of guys there who are, some of them get the spotlight. Some of them get that credibility. Others not necessarily. Others not. I mean, Daniel doesn't get that much. You don't hear people going around saying, oh, about how good Daniel is. You just don't get it. Oleg doesn't. But they're both iron. There's guys over there that are incredible level and fly below the radar. 90% of the year, nobody's talking about them. And to be honest, Tyno's one of those dudes. He's one of those guys. How often do you hear people talking about Tyno? Not much.
Not much, yeah. But he like that speed is so hard to deal with. When no one stops him throughout the tournament, he comes fresh every time. And he's so deadly. He's always been. But usually like the 90 class have, in my opinion, have been more stacked before, like way more stacked. So there's more options for guys to stop him. Like Prudnik was there, Kidigali was there, or you name it, Georgians was there.
Yep.
Now there was not enough guys to stop him. If someone would put a break on him, that's a different story.
Take the edge off his hits and take
But no one stopped him. So
but he's
What do you mean
underrated.
no one stopped him? Talking about Tyno?
But obviously got stopped by Starshow. And came back in credit. That was dramatic, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, let's say that Clement and Sasho had probably near a minute-long match right before that one.
Mate,
yes,
right before that one, he was the same, almost same exact position, and Sasho was like this.
Yeah,
and he was just after that he pulled with Tyno, and Tyno pulled in a most smart way against. If Tyno would continue outside, he was gonna get tired. His muscles were gonna get tired. But what he did, he forced it. He pulled his elbow back of the page. He controlled the pronator of the Sasho, rolled him, and hit from here. So what Sasho had to do, just go more supinated, just to catch there on the pronator. And more he tried to catch, more he reached forward. He gave up more on his pronator, and more on his bicep angle, on bicep angle, and then Tyno turn and press him with the shoulder press. It was just, incredible. What Tyno was incredible. Do I think that Tyno could still do that if Clement and Sasha didn't kill each other? Possible. But I can't say 100%. We don't know. That.
We always make the distinction, and I've said many, many times about why I preferred supermatch arm wrestling as a true test of who is the very best. Because I always say tournament arm wrestling at that level, where you've got just an absolute minefield of serial killers, is incredibly difficult to get through, because you've got to make your style adapted to that. So you're just finishing people, you're cleaning them out, done. And the most successful arm wrestlers in that category are people that can finish. They're quick finishers, putting people to bed. You get into any kind of a long drawn out war, and you might win, but you're coming out with scratches. You're coming out with bullet holes in you. And one of those other guys that's not that far away is going to take your head off.
Yes, true.
And it's exciting. I love it when you got stacked classes like that. It's awesome.
There are exceptions. Like, for example, Arthur and Alan Zolev had a tough match. It was not the last match of the A side.
No.
They had a tough match, but they still won their next event to the final because they were
much
ahead of the rest. And imagine who is the guy with the best endurance is Bojidar, right? But Bojidar is great when he goes one-on-one. Every round you get more tired with him. But when he pulled the Oleg Truderian at the Europeans, 45 seconds, Oleg was pressing with shoulder, and then same exact spot. Vladislav did it, and it was gone. But here, he didn't have such war. and then so draw plays.
Huge.
Like when I was in my prime, you remember how I was finishing, ready to go, you know.
Yeah,
It
everybody
was
gone.
It was just, yeah. But when I get older, slower, injured, limited, so then I realized that I won the last WAF in 2018, but I realized that I can't do that anymore. It is so much up to draw. I may beat one guy 1-to-1, but when I go there, have 30, 40 seconds long match with one guy, any guy at my level goes easy to the next round, will kill me. Like, as I told you before, in 2017 World Championships, I beat the Ukrainian, I beat Bulgarian, and I beat Daniel in a row. But Daniel match was kind of a little bit tough for me. I lost 22 kilo to go there. And then I lost next 2 matches, I took 9th place. And the first guy I beat took 6th, second guy I beat took 5th, and Daniel that I beat on 3rd round took 1st place. So they were able to, young, healthy, they were able to continue. I couldn't. So WAF for me is very hard right now because there are so many different.
Used to say that I'd get many messages saying, "Oh, do you not like tournament arm wrestling, Neil?" And I say, "You must be crazy." I absolutely love tournament arm wrestling. To me, as an arm wrestling purist, tournament arm wrestling is magnificent excitement to watch. I don't think it's a true test of the very best in terms of comparable with Supermatch one-on-one. I think it's a different thing. It's almost like our biggest horse race in the UK is the Grand National. It's just like many other horse races, apart from the fact that the fences are so high. There's so many problems created by massive jumps and the distance. So all the disparate elements to go to make up the race make it more exciting. The favourite doesn't necessarily win. It's the horse who makes it to the frigging finish line, end of, you know, and that doesn't need to be, it's luck plays a part, strategy plays a part, all the element, all the things that make the excitement of the race, it gives you so many talking points beforehand. And the WAF Worlds, when you get it stacked, brings all those elements in the same way. Because the draw, as you said earlier on, supremely important. If you look at your route to the final, and you've got guys in there who are tailor-made for you to kick their ass, you're going to go further. If you've got a guy in round 1, even if you're the favorite, but you get your hardest match in round 1 and it turns into a war, oh my God, it's going to be a long day at the WAF. Because you know that in most of the classes, as you say, particularly under 100 kilos, the depth of talent is stupid. If you take away the extreme classes and you go anywhere from sort of 70 kilos to 100 kilos, very, very rare. It's not stuffed with talent. It's a frigging minefield.
Do you realize that usually still the best guys win the category? Like you will not see often surprise, you know, you will still see, like, you will not be surprised if that class is won by Daniel or Cherkezov, you understand?
Yeah, but you know,
you
it's
will
one
never
of those
see,
guys.
you will never see a guy who is not a candidate or medal going and winning there.
No.
Yeah. And another thing is that when you do super matches, you can have 10 super matches, and then you will have many winners. This guy will beat this guy, that guy will beat this guy will beat that guy. So, but when you want to have one winner in one category, you also need a tournament as well, you know.
You know what I love about it, Engin, as well? For me, and trying to set matches and so on, you learn so much. It doesn't have to be 2 guys that have met or 2 girls that have met in the class. It has to be people that are similar. Okay, so if you look at a man's style or a woman's style, someone that gave them significant problems, if I can find someone else from a different class or a class close to that gave them a very, very big problem, and I can sort of emulate that style, it can make for exciting matchups. It gives you the opportunity to envision
from the professional perspective.
Yeah, and that's great. That's why when you said earlier, did you watch the whole thing? Yeah, I watched the whole thing, and I'll continue to do so. And again, because I will sit there when I got a quiet moment, or I have the opportunity to do it. If I'm traveling or anything like that, I'll watch it through just to see that clash of styles, just to see how different people cope with different things. It's exciting to me. So we just had a super chat from Sean Lennon. Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate it, mate. $20 super chat, much appreciated. Loved the championships. 80-kilogram class was stacked. I noticed that some notable names, Sedris and Prokopchuk, needed to get to the straps to progress, I'd never really realized how much of a difference the straps can make. Absolutely, Sean. I mean, if a guy's hand is either vulnerable naturally, it's not their natural strength against top rollers, people who are top class at taking your hand, that can give them a benefit and utilize the strap, give them that anchor point. It allows much more access to side. It allows much more access to a lot of things. But if you've got a really well-rounded arm wrestler, the strap can be a tremendous weapon. Yeah, it makes it exciting. I love the strap. Always loved the strap throughout my career. And guys like Daniel, horrible experience. Because if he gets strapped to you, as Ray said, hard to finish the man's arm at the best of times. So if he can sort of get anchored to you, you're going to have a very, very tough day. Because even if you take his hand and wrist, it's going to.
Do you know how Daniel went to the B side with right arm? He was trying to sleep versus the Kazakh Nurdalet Aydarkhan, and while he was trying to sleep, he lost the match.
Yes.
And in the semifinal, he went not only semifinal. After that match, he went to directly into the match, and he still hooked and beat everyone, including Aydarkhan in the semifinal. He hooked, as far as I remember, no strap, and he went.
Yes.
He just needed to be a little bit, braver. I'm sure the strap helps him even more, but he still was able to hook and beat his opponents, without the strap.
Yeah, so he's one of those guys that's got an iron arm. He really is. Like your guy, Yildiz Oglu.
Yeah.
His arm, it's rock strong.
Yeah.
Yildiz Oglu's arm is strong as. Oh, he's another guy. Yildiz Oglu's another one. Stupidly underrated. When does anybody ever talk about him?
Who?
Yildiz Oglu. But he's strong as hell.
Yildiz Oglu, when I organized a tournament in 78 kg, he beat Hristo, he beat Daniel Prokopchuk, he beat Bojdar one match, but Bojdar beat him twice.
He got Bojdar, did he? I don't recall seeing that.
He beat Bojdar on the first round of the first match.
Wow.
He beat him.
Yeah. One time, but the Bojdar second match was war. As you know, the third match, Bojdar is still there, and then the opponent is exhausted. Bojdar is one-on-one. It is very hard to finish. I offer a super match to Alan Zolev to pull Bojdar, but his brother Haji Murat said that he is in an army university or something, that he can't
military
go out
school.
of Russia except it's Europeans or world's very official event that he needs to get permission from the ministry. So it would be good to see them. I think that Alan is stronger than Bojdar, but somehow if the match, because if it's 5 rounds or something, gets into the endurance game, it would be good. But I still would give the edge to Alan. Alan didn't look normal. Alan, the way that he beat Yanis, the way that he beat Gospodino, he was just like, he was 6 strong, it was just like
it's the levels immoral. Really stupid.
Like, imagine like how the other guys, like who would want to compete 75 kilo and beat those guys? Just tell me the guys from 70 kilo to go up. Daniel says he will try, but let's see. Daniel, a little bit naturally smaller guy.
Yeah, he's not a big frame dude at all.
Yeah, big frame, but he's also very strong. But let's see. He said he will try. It would be interesting to see.
So we got another super chat from Sean Lennon. Thank you very much, Sean. He just put, what do you guys think of the Russian Gadziev in the 80 kilos? Had a bad draw, but seemed rock strong. Never heard of him.
Yeah, he has been slotted to events. He's strong. Yeah,
he won Russian nationals this year with right arm.
Did he really?
Left arm, yeah.
Oh,
did he?
Okay. With right arm, I think.
No, right arm. I think there was a repeat or something in Vadim won. I think you think Gadziev won?
Yeah,
I
because
remember him from 2017 Zloty. He I think he was second or something. I think Alijan was first, and then second was Gadziev, and the third was Mazgan or something. It was just he's around there.
It's high level.
In 2018 Zloty, the last Zloty before there was a problem between W.A.F and PAL. Alican was there. Even Serdekyan was there. The Armenian puller Serdekyan was there. Alican was first. Gadziev probably was second or third or something. In Serdekyan was 8th place there in that category, 78 kilo. It was the last European tournament that Serdekyan competed before he went to US.
Yeah.
Imagine a category that Serdekyan is taking 8th place.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the North American viewers won't believe that, but, you know, maybe he just had a bad day. I mean, let's be honest, Frezzy's mega anyway.
Yes.
He's absolutely mega. Just to let everybody know, guys, we're going to jump off here in a moment. We've been on for about an hour and 30 minutes. But anything else any of you guys wanted to really pick up on? I wanted to just say about arm wrestler of the tournament. You were both there. Who was your arm wrestler of the tournament at the W.A.F?
Alan Zuluev.
Alan Zuluev, yeah. Also, Arif, if I want to mention, he won very comfortably. First round, he beat the Mitko, his name, Raimonds. Yeah, from Bulgaria. He was the finalist with Arif in 2019. There was a tough final. This time, Arif didn't allow him to go to Sreb and pin him. He also beat Shetko and the Russians. Arif, I don't know. He whenever he competes the non-tested event, he's not doing so well. But once he competes the tested event, Arif is just looking very good. You know, he also won the left.
He was very dominant. Super.
Yeah, he was very dominant. Yeah,
like easy day for him.
Yeah, he has a serious problem with his left. Even here, some muscles are melted. I think no problem. He can pull really with left arm. He has been injured since he pulled Cody. And I want to also thank Cody, you know, after he was finalized to test positive at the 2019, he reached me and he said that he wants to send the gold medal of Arif back to him. It was very, very good sportsmanship of Cody, unlike some people that even when they test positive, they never return the medal to the guy that who deserves, you know. But Cody is such a great guy, very strong guy. What do you guys think? You're talking about Neil. I will ask you. Cody versus Oleg Zog, left arm. I think Cody will be too much sideways.
I don't know. Cody's not got a giant hand. I don't know.
Who would you bet on?
Bloody hell.
I think right now I would bet on Cody.
Probably go with Jacques. Probably with Jacques.
Yeah, I would go with Cody.
Yeah, I think just because I think that Cody might be rendered struggling a little bit because he's a very big man, but he's not got a massive hand in terms of all encompassing. Now I know he's got good pace for a very big lad, and he's got.
Do you really think that he is really good wrist, or he can just still flat wrist? You know, he can side press.
Yeah, even with the even flat wristed, he's so big and so heavy. He might be able to finish.
Yeah, that's what I was
anyway. Thinking. I like that a lot. I was doing it at weekend. I was doing it the other day actually when we were watching this. I mean, if you put together a four-way with Bozhidar, Allen,
but Neil,
David Samusha, and I mean that's a frigging good tear up right there. Those three guys. Who do you think would win in Allen and Bozhi?
I will tell you something. The four ways that you are talking about is something that against you are defending, that the tournament pulling is affecting the result. When you do two super matches with two close guys, if one wins easy.
It's why you can't win the title if the title's in the first round.
Yeah, then but it doesn't go always. If one dominates the other one is war. The final.
Oh, you've gone on mute, mate. You've gone on mute, Engin. The four ways are more about just a bloodbath. But David Samusha and Allen, I'd love to see. I'd love to see Bozhi and Allen in a hook. That'd be, I don't know, back there. That's a frigging match.
Yeah. Allen cannot get out of Russia, as I said.
Yeah.
No.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big problem, but it'd be a hell of a match. Let's do it in Russia. Oh, what a match.
I want to say Arthur versus Bozhidar.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Or Samusha versus Bozhidar. Since
Samusha versus Bojidar is amazing. You know, I wanted Hamza versus Bojidar.
Hamza is now coming back. Hamza is incredible. I will tell you something.
Go. Hamza's a
Hamza,
bad mother fluffer, mate.
in a super match, you know, Bojidar won 2000, not Bojidar, Samusha won 2018, 19 wars.
But Hamza and Boji beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of each other. Hamza and Boji is a great match. I would have looked. Hamza and Boji, if you're watching, let's go. That's got arm was written. Let's
right now,
go.
Bojidar has some injury here. He said that he will rest until he's completely healed up. He's very young. If you realize, he has been pulling a lot of events non-stop, the 78 kg events, and then he came here for Tony Kitovsky. Then he went to the Bulgarian event. Then he pulled Vladislav, Arm Europeans and the wars. The guy is now a little bit hurt. He really needs to, because we need Bojidar. Bojidar is a future legend.
Bojidar's a superstar.
We don't want him to have chronic injuries, you know. If he's okay, let him pull. If he is injured, I would, completely heal up. Otherwise, he will become chronic and he won't be able to use his best weapon anymore.
Here's us talking about putting him into the most brutal jointy matches in the history of the world. Yeah, mate,
Hamza.
you dive in there with Hamza and Alan and Samusha and all the other frigging killers.
Hamza is 6 strong. Hamza is 6 strong.
Yeah, he's mega strong, man.
Yeah,
that's why when I rung you on him the other day, that's what I was checking on. You were like, no, you don't pull anymore. I'm like, what? Yeah, Hamza and Bojidar. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up there. We've been on for about an hour and a half. I just want to say a massive thank you to my guest today. It's the Enigma of Rage in the Mother Fluffing House. If you're not already subscribed to this man's channel, get over there. Nobody knows more about the sport of arm wrestling than that old bastard. Let me tell you right now. He is carved from the original arm wrestling rock. Get over there. It's the Enigma. Get some. In the bottom corner, off screen, because he looks like he's in a porno disco and a traffic jam at the same time, it's Raimonds Rolly Liepins. He will be back Sunday night on The Fix, ladies and gents. He's part of the Fix crew. Get yourself over and subscribe to the voice, the Rolly Royce of arm wrestling. Link in the description. And if this is your first time here on the Supernatural Strength, please like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody about it. We will be back with The Fix this Sunday at 9:30 UK time, which is, I believe, about 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, 10:30 Central European time. If you're not subscribed to the new Arm Wars channel, ladies and gents, there is something very wrong with you. Get over there. Check it out. Get subbed. And thanks for tuning in, checking us out, ladies and gents. Have a tremendous weekend. And until we see you next time on here, take it easy, peeps.
Take care, guys.
Lovely darts. Engin, good to talk to you, mate. Thanks for coming.